Portuguese and Dutch were both in conflict with one another for as many connections to the East as possible during the 16th and 17th centuries, as the East was, according to Marco Polo, rich with the finest and most delectable gardens upon earth, and filled too with the finest fruits. However, the Dutch found more success than the Portuguese due to their quicker routes, primary goals, and commercial tactics. Before reaching India, Portugal, one of the largest European empires, had, according to the text, developed a thriving trade in gold, ivory, and human beings, and displaced the Muslim Arabs as the dominant commercial agents in the region. The Portuguese, having explored much of the African coast already, sent Vasco da Gama to circumnavigate it to India, which he succeeded around 1498. However, proved to be costly, and as the text states, it is unlikely the Portuguese crown made a profit. The Dutch, though also circumnavigating South Africa, found more efficient routes to vital trading cities through Indonesia rather than coastal routes by India. Secondly, the primary force that brought Portugal beyond its small kingdom was Prince Henry the Navigator, according to Gomes Yanes de Azurada, sailed primarily between the early to mid-1400s because of his great desire to make increase in the faith of our Lord Jesus Christ and to bring him all the souls that should be saved. By contrast, this was not a primary goal of the Dutch as it was to the Portuguese, and even the Spanish, with Columbus stating great numbers of people were lost believing in idolatry and doctrines of perdition. Events like the Goa Inquisition brought distrust to Portugal for the grueling conversion tactics. This actually served as an advantage to the Dutch, as it later allowed them to advance themselves beyond the Portuguese because of the willingness of some natives in the East to work with the Dutch. A prime example is the Molucca Islands. Occupied by the Portuguese for nearly a century, it was also a religiously hostile place, and their occupation made it difficult for the Portuguese to find commercial success with neighboring areas, such as China, who were hostile to the Portuguese because of complaints by the Moroccan Sultan. However, when the Dutch took the Moluccas from the Portuguese in the 17th century, the Dutch were beginning a network along the Spice Islands extending not only their range of territorial power, but creating a monopoly over the spice trade. Through the Moluccas, they made a treaty with the Moroccan Sultan and gained control over the clove trade, and then gained control over the nutmeg trade via their occupation of the Banda Islands. The ways in which the Portuguese and Dutch garnered wealth between the East and West, used by other empires as they too attempted to assert themselves. Robert Hakluyt, when discussing how to further promote the effectiveness of England's colonial peoples, stated they should resemble the Portuguese, as they had set slaves and natives to work in mines of gold, silver, and in planting of sugar canes. The Dutch and Portuguese both set out to acquire wealth and territorial gain from the East. However, the Portuguese focus on religious conversion served as a loss of their commercial goal and power struggle, setting them behind the Dutch, who focused on quicker routes and spice monopoly.